No, hold on a second. The Royal Navy is not going to do that.
I did not say shoot them down, presenting some kind of blockade, making it clear that these boats will not pass. My viewers don't trust either of your parties, I hate to break it to you, on these not-so-small boat crossings.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Julian Discourse. Have you ever noticed how the political establishment demands we just accept the collapse of our borders as an unfixable reality? In this explosive GB news clash, watch Michelle Dewberry completely dismantle a Labour MP after a massive surge of 600 migrants crossed the channel in a single day. When the MP tries to deflect with tired excuses, Michelle delivers a verbal beating on behalf of the British taxpayer. Hit subscribe and let's watch their narrative collapse in real time.
Look, the sun, of course, is out, and you know what that means. It means the boats have been flying and flooding in. Get this, ladies and gents, almost 600 people have crossed the channel today. This is the biggest one-day surge this year. I mean, Jeevan, I thought that you guys are going to smash the gangs and all the rest of it. The sun comes out, you've lost control again.
Well, there's a lot more to do. I'm not going to try and pretend that this is where we want to be. There's a long way to go and there is no silver bullet, right? So if I come on the show and say, look, don't worry, Michelle, I've got it. We're just going to do this thing and sort it out. You know, that's not going to be the case. Enforcement is part of it, right? Now, deportations are up. That's good news. Arrests are up. That's good news. But clearly there are a lot of people crossing the channel. So part of it's about detection, part of it's about enforcement, and part of it's about the dealing with France as well. But there just isn't a silver bullet on this stuff. There's a lot further to go.
But I know that, I know all of that, and the figures would demonstrate that you're not grasping things currently as they stand. So do you feel, do you have faith and trust in actually the measures that you're talking about actually stopping these crossings? Because I don't.
So let me talk about, for example, the one-in, one-out deal with France, right? Yeah. Now, it's a pilot deal at the moment, and people would say there's not enough, and I agree, there's a lot further to go, but every little does help. Yeah. But if you go further and fast enough,
but hang on, then,
let's finish this one up, right? If you get it high enough, you reduce any incentive to come across, because at that point the deal is with France. Therefore, you know, if you get on the beach on the other side, actually is going to be a cross back. So that's a good way forward. No, it has worked elsewhere, but clearly there's a lot further to go.
Yes, but you will know on the one-in, one-out, for example, you will know that you've had some of these people doing some kind of demented hokey-cokey in and out and in and out. You will also know that we've been a net recipient in that model, and you will also know that a collection of these people now funded in part by my viewers and the other taxpayers in this country, are now trying to take the government to court for that deal.
So I can't comment about that particular court case. Obviously, I can't comment on any kind of live court case. More broadly, yeah, I agree there's a lot further to go on this stuff, right? But there's also no... I've not heard a single other solution from somebody who said this is the way to deal with this,
I've got a single solution. I would not allow people to make that crossing. I would put the Navy in that water, and I would make it damn clear to people at the other end, if you get on that boat and you spend all of that money making that crossing, guess what? You're not going to get to the other side.
We are not going to have the Royal Navy shoot down boats with innocent people on it.
Hang on, let's not be ridiculous.
The Royal Navy is not going to do that.
I did not say shoot them down. I am not suggesting the the Navy, all the rest of it, doing target practice on these not-so-small boats. So please, let's be clear about that. What I am saying is you would have the Royal Navy presenting some kind of blockade, making it clear that these boats will not pass. These people then will be onboarded and taken back from whence they came.
So the channel is quite big. But even if you were to pick them up in international waters, the French would not say you could drop them on our shore. We wouldn't say the same thing, by the way.
How do you know they wouldn't?
Well, they would not. Right?
Well, the thing is, where do you start? I mean, we took a lot of criticism for this, quite rightly. And we have another government that comes in for more than 18 months. They ditched the Rwanda plan, which was only part of what hopefully could have started to deal with sending people back somewhere. And their raison d'etre was smash the gangs and stop the boats. We spent £500 billion they've given £500 billion to the French up to now. They invented the scheme called one in, one out. I think there's been 93 in and 97 out, or something ridiculous like that. You're quite right, there's been quite a few people who've been deported. They are people who they'll give a few £1,000 to, and they've deported, funnily enough, a lot of them back to Albania, where we've got an arrangement in any event. They've been deported somewhere else, which appears to be OK. So in terms of really deporting those that you want to deport, they're still not doing that. Shabana Mahmood talks the talk, but she certainly doesn't walk the walk, because we're getting the same old rhetoric day in and day out. And as Michelle has said, I mean, and has been reported, you know, we've got a bit of sun comes out. There's no way that people are not going to come over. There's no deterrent. You're not producing a deterrent. You haven't come up with a deterrent because 600 people have come across just today. And so the situation hasn't improved. And so actually to sort of sit there, for the government to say, you know, it's not working. It's not working. You're absolutely clueless, frankly. And Michelle's point on the Royal Navy, well, of course nobody's going to be shooting anybody. That was a ridiculous thing for you to say to her in any event. But at the end of the day, I like what Maloney has done. And I think we're going to have to get to a position at some time where we're going to have to look at that, how we can prevent them actually crossing, and how we're going to deal with actually allowing anybody anywhere to stay once they get here.
So where would you put them? Because you would say, if you were to have, let's work something right. You've got 50,000 people who come across a year, and you want them roaming around our town centres with nowhere to sleep. No, but you've said when they come, you would just let them free. So what would we do now? Now, let's say what we have done, right? We have reduced the backlog, right? We've stopped the number of people, reduced the number of people going to hotels, and I wish those hotels weren't there. I wish we weren't spending £5 billion a year, which your government left us with, 160,000 people in the backlog. That's why we have increased the number of caseworkers and getting that down. But I say this to you now, the idea that we would just say, no, we're not going to do anything. I am not going to be in a position as a Labour MP to say we're going to have 50,000 people a year roaming around this country at a point where we don't know where they are or what they're doing, who will be desperate.
What you're basically saying, all the steps you're trying, you can't stop them.
I'm saying no, that's not what I'm saying at all. No, that's not fair at all, right? There is a lot further to go, but clearly there's a path forward.
Has actually brought the numbers down. The highest number were last year, higher than any other year, on your watch. And whatever you're doing or saying, it's not making any difference at all.
And I've got to tell you, both of you, none of what you say washes with my viewers. My viewers don't trust either of your parties, I hate to break it to you, on these not-so-small boat crossings. And when we talk about 600 people, just so everyone's clear, this will infuriate many of my viewers, because it's not just an abstract number of 600 people. This is 600 people that will now be prioritised for housing, prioritised for health services, and you name it. And you asked the question, where would you house these people? Well, one council, Gloucestershire Council, they're proposing a solution, £600 per month up to, if you house one of these people.
What you just witnessed on GB News is the absolute paralysis of the British political establishment exposed on live television. When Michelle Dewberry confronted that Labour MP over the staggering reality of 600 illegal migrants crossing the Channel in a single day, his response was the exact same tired script we've heard for a decade. There is no silver bullet. Let's translate what that actually means. It means the government has absolutely zero intention of taking the tough measures required to secure your borders. To understand the sheer scale of this betrayal, look at the timeline. On his very first day in office in July 2024, Prime Minister Keir Starmer officially scrapped the Conservatives' Rwanda Deterrent scheme, claiming his new Border Security Command would smash the smuggling gangs instead. How has that worked out? By early 2026, we are seeing record-breaking daily surges. The Home Office's own figures show the asylum system is still draining over $5 billion a year from the public purse. And when the Labour MP boasts that they are reducing the backlog, do not be fooled by the accounting trick. They aren't mass deporting illegal arrivals, they are simply rubber stamping approvals at record speed to move them out of taxpayer-funded hotels and into local council housing, pushing hard-working British citizens even further down the queue. Think about how this works in your own life. If you leave your front door wide open and strangers start walking in, you don't form a bureaucratic committee to investigate the root causes of the trespassers. You shut the door. But the political elite refuses to shut the door because they don't have to live with the consequences. They don't struggle to get a doctor's appointment in a strained local clinic, and they certainly aren't the ones being asked by local councils to take unvetted migrants into their spare bedrooms. They expect you to fund the collapse of your own borders and smile while doing it. Thank you for watching Julian Discourse. If you refuse to let the establishment treat your tax dollars like an open ATM, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and I'll see you next time.